Lawrence, this is Law. You got me?
Law, I see you. I
Yeah.
can't hear you. I don't know if Dennis is doing that intentionally to you.
All right. First, just obviously want to make sure everything's good with you and your family. And
Appreciate you.
I say this with as much respect as I can. Obviously, it sounds like you're planning on having Kawhi and James on this team next season. What level of consideration have you given to one of those two guys not being a part of the team next season?
Yeah, I haven't given it any, but I also am respectful of the fact that James is a player option. So, with any of those scenarios, we all understand the business of basketball. We're very, very happy with everything that we wanted from James. We got it and then some. When we initially traded for James, he was coming in as the third guy. And as the offseason transpired last offseason, and we went in a different direction. For James to do what he did, initially when we brought James, it was all about facilitating. And then when it was James this year with no Kawhi, with Norm and Zoo and the rest of the group, we really asked James to do a lot. And at his age, to deliver what he did, I know you guys do, and what I love about your group, and I say this really with an appreciation, is you guys are totally invested. I know you have to be objective, so when you're critical of us, you're critical, and we all respect it. But you guys are, I feel like you're part of the Clipper family and as such, and so I think you guys have a deep appreciation for what it means to lace it up and to show up every single night. 79 games. And he does that time and time and time again. We have a deep appreciation for that sort of availability and to be able to deliver and do what he did. He really changed our season in a sense. You go back to March 4th, we're up 23 against Phoenix, playing some of the best basketball that we had to get to that lead. And then we blew it. Our transition defense was horrible. We blew the game. We come back the next night, we're shorthanded against the Detroit Pistons, and what did James do? Throwback, 50-point performance, and from that point on, I think we went 18-3. And I say that we have a great level of appreciation for what James did this year. Kawhi, you guys know how I feel about Kawhi. And the empathy I feel, not just for Kawhi, but for any player who suffers multiple injuries, who puts so much into it. I look at it even from a personal lens, and maybe it's just too close for me, but people who deal with chronic illness, like when it's, in the NBA world, people associate injured players as a character flaw. It has nothing to do with character. Like, these are your body parts. The only thing we ask our guys, do everything in your control to prevent injuries, and when you have them, put everything you can to rehab and recover from them. In Kawhi's sense, he does it times 10. And I know sometimes I protest too much, but it's only because I see all the work behind the scenes. And I think, we see, the player, we see the money they're given, saying, hey, look, man, that's like, many times these guys would give back the money to get their health. Like, imagine being the best of the best at something you do, and you're robbed of doing it because either you just don't have the physical capacity to do it, and it wasn't your fault. And that's life. Life isn't fair. But my point is, there is an emotional, when you're consistently getting injured, there's an emotional scarring that you have to be able to fight through. And here we go again, here we go again, here we go again. And so I'm super, super, super proud and happy for Kawhi. Again, big picture, I care most about the team. I care most about the organization. But I am really happy for him that he was able to come back, get back to playing a high level. And there's another level for him out there that he's going to get to next year. But to answer your question, Law, I haven't given really any thought. Now, because James is a player option, it'd be irresponsible for me not to have contingency plans with it. But I'm going in with the intent that if he doesn't pick up his option, that we're going to be able to reach an agreement that works well for James and works well for the Clippers. And Kawhi's obviously under contract for the next 2 years.
Lawrence, appreciate you taking the time to do this, and also as well, hope everything is going okay with you and your family.
Thank you.
Keeping it on the topic of James and Kawhi, obviously in previous years there's been a lot of what-ifs with the way that your guys' seasons have ended because of injuries and whatnot. Of course, that wasn't the case this season with the injury report being clean for all 7 games. Is there a feeling internally that may have said something about the potential ceiling that exists with a Kawhi-led James team going into 2026, or is there still a belief that a team built around those two is good enough to win a championship?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of things that have to go right. And as you guys know from following us, I think we have to contextualize all these. So if we would have got swept 4-0, well, I'd say, obviously we're not very... In a 7-game series where in game 1 we're up 15 and we have 20 turnovers and we lose in overtime by 2. In game 4, and I give Denver credit because game 4, those guys totally took the game to us. I mean, we made a hell of a comeback, but that game was a series changer because of how they attacked it. And it was Aaron Gordon, it was Christian Brown. I mean, Jokic is brilliant, 3-time MVP. Jamal Murray, his playoff performances, are well chronicled. But just their players 3 through 6 had a big impact. And I say this, Joey, in the sense that because we lost, how we lost, let's throw out the last game. Last game was uncharacteristic. I definitely believe in those two. Now, what's always a fair question is, okay, is Kawhi a top 5 guy? Is he a top 10 guy? Like, time will tell. Like, to me if you look at, he played 37 games. I'd say his last 22, 23, he played at what I'd call an all-NBA level, okay? James, I hope, gets rewarded at an all-NBA level. So if you have 2 guys that in a given year are anywhere between are within the top 15 players, then the guy who I think will be an all-star next year is Ivica.
Let's get ready for HoopJab.